Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Monster Tamer News, the segment on this channel where we go over this week's happenings in the world of monster taming. Now, this week we have some news regarding Monster Crown's upcoming evolution update, a very interesting Monster Hunter Stories 2 leak, which I think will make everyone happy, a couple of new additions to the segment, including Final Stardust, a Pokemon/Yu-Gi-Oh/Golden Sun inspired JRPG, as well as a new Ark trailer for the upcoming Genesis Part 2 expansion. So, with all that being said, sit back, relax, and let's talk monster taming. Alright, so we're going to kick things off with that Monster Crown news, and that being the official reveal of the Atomic Clock and Supergro mechanics. Now, Jason did upload a video to the Monster Crown YouTube channel showcasing said mechanics, and has confirmed the official release date of Content Pack 4, which will hold these mechanics, to be November 27th. There is, however, a Twitter poll going on to determine which of the two features you would like to see arrive early, Supergro or Atomic Clock, so make sure to get your votes in on the Monster Crown Twitter page. On an interesting side note, Content Pack 3, which was the first content pack to add a chunk of the island to the game, was released on my daughter's birthday, and Content Pack 4, the first to introduce some major mechanics, is coming out on my wife's birthday. So I think Jason's goal here is to tear me apart from my family in order to have me for himself, but that's just my theory. The Anitons Kickstarter has reached well over half of its goal with 19 more days remaining. As of the time of recording this video, it's currently at over $42,000 USD out of the $75,000 goal. There are only a few early bird discount packages left, so I do highly recommend nabbing them before they go away. Also, let's not forget about those exclusive Aniton plushies. Now, can you guys tell yet that I'm pretty salty at myself for not getting the Kindred Fates plushie? Because trust me when I say I am. Speaking of Kickstarters, the Chain Monsters Kickstarter, which I also got a plushie for, added a new stretch goal for 115,000 euros, which will add 25 more Chain Mons to the game. The previous stretch goal of 100,000 was just accomplished and will bring the Alluvia Park to the game, which we have discussed in a previous video. The Final Stardust Kickstarter trailer has gone live, and the Kickstarter itself is planned for December 1st. The game is a story-driven monster taming JRPG that is heavily inspired by the 4th generation of Pokemon, as well as Golden Sun, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I see a little bit of Final Fantasy inspiration in there as well. I did do a video discussing my thoughts on the project as well as the Kickstarter yesterday, so definitely check that out for more information about the game. Okay, so a massive Capcom leak took place and revealed a ton of information, not just about Monster Hunter Stories 2, but some of their other IPs as well. There's information about Resident Evil 4 on VR, the source code for DMC2 and UC, and a ton more, but to stay relevant to the monster taming side of things, it seems that Monster Hunter Stories 2, and also not technically a Tamer game, but Monster Hunter Rise, are going to make their way to PC at some point, though they are primarily being coded for the Switch. Okay, so I did miss this in last week's news segment, but special thanks to Clasher for bringing this to my attention. The official Ark YouTube channel uploaded a video last week teasing the newest expansion pack. Now, this is the first time we've actually spoken about Ark on the channel, so hence why the news is late and I wasn't checking for it. But anyways, for those of you who might not know, Ark is a survival game where you can tame and fight dinosaurs and other creatures with each other. Anitons was actually in part inspired from Ark, so it definitely does fit here on the channel. I'd say from what I've seen, it's sort of in the same realm as Ninth Dawn 3 in terms of the monster taming element factor, if you will. Sure, you don't always use your monsters, but they are still a very big part of the game. Anyways, the teaser trailer showcased some new creatures, new bosses, and more. From what we know, the upcoming creatures specific to this DLC include the Noglin, the Shadowmane, the Astrodelphus, and the Strider. Now, I do actually want to make a separate video delving deeper into each of these creatures, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I need to get more familiar with the game as well, so I'm looking forward to it myself. Carl over at Orange Pylon revealed yet another new Abomi, this time one named Faluna. This is the evolved form of Hafoon, an Abomi we covered in a previous segment. Faluna's eyes are said to be sunken within the dark side of the moon. Anyone close enough to see what the eyes actually look like beyond their shadowy veil will, die. So that's always nice. Carl's also confirmed that he's wrapped up making the final boss and final cutscene, so we can definitely expect some big Abomi news soon. Alright, so the rest of this week's news can actually be banged off pretty quickly, so let's initiate rapid fire mode. Siralim Ultimate's been updated to 0.5.6 and is currently in beta if you didn't already know. The most recent updates include some minor bug fixes and a couple of balancing adjustments. Temtem updated to version 0.6.15, which mostly includes minor bug fixes, but most notably adds an indication for AFK players, a setting to display the user's platform next to their name, and 4K UI resolution, with the ability to toggle between 4K and 1080p. A lot of this seems to be in preparation for the PS5 launch coming in December. A door has updated as well to make the summoning action less clunky, as they state. This update was brought forth from some feedback from the community, so it's always great to see when devs listen to their fans and do their best to make everyone happy. We got a new electric type Mython revealed to us through the Mython Island Twitter page. And finally, we got a new Re-Legend Magnus, this time the Frozen Knight line, which consists of Froz Page, Froz Choir, and of course, Froz Knight, which are all classified as defensive bruisers. So yeah guys, a pretty slow week for our regulars. I mean, nothing major for Kindred Fates, Coromon, Nexomon, and then the other regulars that did have updates were very minor, but the news we did get was quite interesting to say the least. For example, that Capcom leak was actually because of a ransom. They were actually trying to extort Capcom for money, and when Capcom refused to abide, the leak was the result. We also had some new additions to the channel, which is always fun. So yeah, it's always great making content for this community. If you do want to stay up to date on all things monster taming, please consider subscribing if you're not already. This is sort of my shtick. Monster taming's my passion, and I don't come around and sugarcoat my videos with a fake personality or any BS like that. I do also try to keep in touch with everyone as best I can, and that sort of goes on to my next point. Check out my subscriber Discord where you can hang out with me and everyone else and talk monster taming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.